everyone, welcome to Lauren Reed Color. As it's Saturday, it's time for the newest installment in the Saturday Snippets, and we are still working on the Garden Friends page in Small Victories. This is it. Today I'm actually hoping to finish the snail. We've got these little flowers. We need to finish off these leaves. We've got the snail's body and we've got the brick path. For quite a bit of this today, we're going to be using Inktense. So if you don't have Inktense, you can use any watercolor pencil like Albrecht or Derwent watercolor, or even the cheapest brand of watercolor pencils that you have. If you don't have any watercolor pencils, you can just use regular pencils. It doesn't matter. Just keep in mind that you'll have to layer a bit more. Right, so the colors we'll be using are Sienna Gold, which is 0240. We're going to be using Baked Earth, which is 1800, and we're going to use Red Oxide, which is 1910. I'll be using a water brush, but you can also use a regular paintbrush with a cup of water. Just make sure to use really small amounts of water so that you don't get any bleed through onto the other side of the page. The paper in this book is quite thick, so I think that it can handle water. We're going to test that out. Another thing that I wanted to just talk about is our inspiration picture, because I am going to be deviating from it a little bit. Hold on one second. Right, so this is our inspiration image. We've done the flowers. We're going to try and get this effect with the shell. It's not going to be exactly like this because the shape of the shell in the image that we're coloring is quite different from our inspiration picture, but we're going to try and get that glow that's in the inspiration image. But the thing that I'm going to be changing is the color of the body of the snail. I've decided that I'm not really a fan of this tealy blue color, and I would rather have it be the yellowish gold. And one of the reasons for that is because the shell in our image is really small, and I think that the snail would look better and more cohesive with the orangey yellowish body than the teal body. So we're going to be, as I said, deviating from the inspiration image. Okay, so as I said, we'll be using Inktense. If you're only going to be using pencil, then all of the colors that we're going to be using with the Inktense have a matching color in the Prismacolors that we've been using so far. So for example, you can use Jasmine for Sienna Gold, you can use Goldenrod for Baked Earth, and you can use Tuscan Red for the Red Oxide. Okay, so yeah, let's get going. All right, so we are zoomed in, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to finish coloring these leaves. Okay, so just to remind us all of our color palette, yes, these are the colors that we're going to be using for the leaves: pale sage, olive green, Prussian green, kelp green, and I also added lime peel. Okay, so we're going to start with the pale sage, 1089. Let me zoom in just a bit more. Okay, so yeah, a light layer of this color on all of these leaves. Okay. So I'm really pleased with the way this page is turning out. Moving on to Prussian green, 109. Okay, and yes, we're going to leave the highlight at the top. Right, so I always say this at the beginning of these Saturday Snippets videos, but if you are new to the channel, then these Saturday Snippet videos are chatty videos. So while I'm coloring, I chat about all sorts of interesting things that happened during the week, or interesting things that I saw on the internet, or just, anything. Okay, now we're going to put in the lime peel, so that's 1005. So to begin with, if you can hear squealing in the background, that is my Jack Russell Toby. He is just telling you all that, the suffering is real. Okay, I also want to put a little bit of the True Blue, which is 903, just to create a bit of cohesiveness. Right, and then we blend it out with the pale sage. Yeah, so he's got, he's got problems that we can't possibly imagine. Okay, let's move on to these leaves on the bottom. Do I want to make them? Yeah, let's just keep green. I was debating whether to make some of them orange, but I think I'll just stay with the green. Hold on, I'm going to go and see why the squealer is squealing. I think he's just trying to find a comfortable spot. He has a little bit of arthritis, so it takes him a bit to settle, and the weather is getting a bit colder, so it takes him longer to find a comfortable spot. Okay, so now we're going to olive green, which is 911. Just, I switch out some of the greens to make it a little bit different, but they're very similar, so you still get a nice cohesive look to the page. Okay, now lime peel. Anyway, so as I said, these are chatty videos. My week was relatively quiet, which is good. I did get quite a few videos recorded for the channel, which I'm really happy about. So I have finished coloring the Meadow Mischief page in Animal Wonderland. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek of that page. Right, so this is our completed Meadow Mischief page. I am so happy with the way it turned out. I cannot believe how good the grass looks. I'm always a little bit worried about the way the grass will come out, but it's come out lovely. And the color along for this entire page is going to be up on the channel right now. We already have the tutorial for how to do the fox fur, and I've also uploaded how I did all the flowers. And this week I'm going to upload the background with the sky and the bushes and the trees, and the final part is the tree stumps and the grass. So all of that will be up on the channel this week, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the color along. So anyway, I digress. Let's get back to our snail. Okay, again, I think let's make these two a little different and make the base color lime peel, 1005, just to make it slightly different. Okay, and then we're going to put olive green. Right, so I filmed all of that. I finished filming that. I also filmed a review of the Arctic's pastel alcohol markers. Now we're with the 109. Yeah, I was contacted by Arctic's, and they were interested in knowing if I would like to review those markers, because my technique for alcohol markers is to base and then put pencil on top, and those pastel colors are just perfect for that. Do I want to put blue there? No, I don't think so. I think I will blend out with some pale sage though. Okay, I think those are all of our leaves. I also want to do, let's just move the page down a bit. I also want to do these leaves, and we're gonna stick with the purple that we've got. So I'm using Parma Violet, which is 1008. And just, yeah, a light layer of this. Yeah, so that's also up on the channel if you're interested. Artix was also very generous and gave a discount code. So the discount code is in the description of that video. Let's get white. Okay, and just blend that out with the white. And I'm going to use a water brush marker, okay, in purple, just to deepen up the shadow. And I'm not going to use the Q-tip to blend because these are so tiny. So just very lightly in the deepest shadow areas. Okay, now we'll do the ones on the other side as well. What else did I record? I also recorded the second installment in my pencil collection video. So was it last week or the week before? I think it was the week before. I recorded a video about my Prismacolor and Polychromos pencils, which are the most popular pencils in the community. And then this week I recorded a video for the Derwents, and I will be putting that up on the channel as soon as I finish editing it. Okay, let's move on to these. Yeah, so I got a lot of recording done. I have to take advantage of the next week and a half, sort of, because the academic year is going to be starting. My college is starting, and I have to go back to work. So yeah, I'm gonna be recording some things to post. The beginning of the semester is always so hectic. New students, returning students. Anyway, so putting courses together. And yeah, so I'll be a bit busy doing that. And I might not have as much time to record. I will still be doing the Saturday Snippets. And of course, I will try and also record other things. I want to do all of my pencil collection videos. Okay, let's just zoom out and take a look at the page with all of the leaves done before we start in with the Inktense. So this is what our cute little snail is looking like right now. I am going to, as I said, use Inktense to go over all of the background. We will also try to perhaps get a little bit of a glow going around. And the reason I'm going to do this is because these spaces are just so tiny. And I also want to try out the Inktense on this paper. And then we're going to shade these little flowers with pencils, okay? And then we're going to do the snail's body and the brick path. Okay, so let's get going with that. Okay, so I noticed that petal hadn't been colored, so I just used the same colors that I used for the rest of the flower and colored it in. And now we're going to be using the Inktense, okay? So as I said, Sienna Gold 0240, and we're just going to put a light layer of this color all over these flowers here. Very lightly. If you want to be light, you hold the barrel further down from the point of the pencil. Okay. Right, so that's what I was doing this week. What else did I do? I finished the audiobook finally. I had really neglected my audiobook. So I finished my audiobook. It was Magic Tides by Ilona Andrews. Oh, I see we've forgotten those two, but I'm just going to, they're so tiny, these images, the elements on these pages, so it's easy to miss out on something, but it's okay. We're just gonna go over it with the Inktense. Anyway, so I finished my audiobook. I really enjoyed it. I love Ilona Andrews, and I'd missed the Kate Daniels series. The book is part of the Kate Daniels series. There are 10 books in the original series, and then this book plus one more take place 10 years after the ending of the previous one. I hope she writes more in the series. I really do. And I think she might because, well, Ilona Andrews is actually a husband and wife writing team. So here just like flick out a little bit with the pencil. Very light, very softly. And so, yeah, so I'm reading the next one now, which is called Magic Claims. So I think that she's leading up to starting a spin-off series. I really hope so, because I love Kate Daniels. So it was really good. Lots of action, lots of interesting characters, excellent world building. I listened to the audiobooks. The first Kate Daniels series is narrated by Renee Raudman, and I would listen to her read the phone book. She's just amazing. But these two new shorter spin-off novels, they're not really novels, they're like novellas, are narrated by Hilary Huber, who's also excellent, and Michael Glenn. So the chapters from Karen's point, Karen is Kate's husband. The chapters from his point of view are narrated by Michael Glenn. Okay, let's go on to Baked Earth. Okay, so Baked Earth is 1800. Let me just sharpen this because it's a bit blunt and these are really small spaces. So I use the Tagal sharpener. It works with the Inktense as well. They fit in really nicely. A little bit more snug than some of the other pencil brands, but it still works really well. And right, so with this color, we're only going to go in the shadow area. So we're not going to go on top of any of these flowers, okay? Because we want these flowers to be brighter. So only in the shadow areas in between. Yeah, so I finished that book. And I immediately continued on to the next one in the series. It's also a shorter companion novella. Okay, and yeah, I'm enjoying that. I'm also still reading The Last Guard by Nalini Singh. I started that last week. That's part of the Psy Changeling series, which I also enjoy. And yeah, so I hope to finish that book this week. We'll see. What else did I do? I'm still watching FBI and FBI Most Wanted. What did I see? I saw that they have made The Woman in Cabin 10. Oh, who's the author of that book? It's been ages since I read it. I will look it up and put it on the screen. I saw that they've made it into a movie, so I'm gonna see if I can watch that. yeah, just in the shadows. Don't go too out with this color because we want to get a little bit of a glow. And we will achieve that by having the outside lighter. Yeah, so I want to watch that. I'm also waiting for Only Murders in the Building to be completely finished, and then I will binge watch. I love that show. And oh, there's such tiny spots here in between these leaves. Yeah, so I want to watch that. I also want to get back into my rewatch of Lost. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the red oxide. Just a second, all right, so with the red oxide, we're only going to do the middle bits, okay? We're not going to go on the outside. So the middle will be darker and then it will go out in a glow. Okay, so yeah, only in the deepest shadow areas. Yeah, so I want to finish my rewatch of Lost. I'm just making sure I don't go too far out with this pencil. What else do I want to watch? Well, I've got a whole list. I keep a list of shows to watch in my notes app on my phone. Okay, and yeah, what else did I see this week? There is I'm also on Threads, and I love watching animal videos on Threads. Okay, before I get into that, let's activate our Inktense. For that, I'm using a water brush. I have the Kuretake. It's looking a little bit sad. I think I'm going to need a new one, but I like this brush. Anyway, so you can also use a round paintbrush. I would use a small number, like a 2 or a 4, simply because there are really tiny spots here. Also, I have a rag to wipe my water brush on. If you feel that your water brush is too dry, you can give it a little bit of a squeeze, but make sure to wipe it off on the rag so you don't have too much water, because otherwise you'll have water everywhere. And another thing that I want to say is that when you use more water, the color is lighter. Okay, so let's start with the light and go in. Okay, starting with the outside. You can go out a little bit. I'm going to try and keep the round shape of this snail. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to keep round shapes. Okay, so we're starting with the light color first. I just periodically wipe off my brush. Okay, now to get it even lighter on the outside, I'm just going to give my brush a bit of a squeeze until water comes out, and then I wipe it off. And we're not going to take any color. We're just going to take the color that's already there and blend it out. Don't rub over the same spot too much because the paper could tear. Okay, so I'm just going to take it out a little bit more, but not too far. Okay, we'll get a bit of a glow. Okay, once it dries, it'll look a little bit smoother. And we can also go in with pencils to blend out a bit more. Okay, all right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the middle parts. Okay, this I like to have a drier water brush, so not to have too much water. Okay, these are really tiny spots, so very slowly, take your time. I love activating Inktense. The dull color comes to life. Okay, also keep in mind we've got these little flowers. We can activate them as well. Yeah, so anyway, I'm on Threads, and there is this cute little channel called the Hedgehog Chef. And it's just these cute little videos of this hedgehog, this animated hedgehog, cooking different things. So spaghetti and pavlova and fruit tarts. He's just adorable. I love watching him. There's also a YouTube channel which I haven't looked at yet, but I understand that the recipes for the things that this little hedgehog makes are available on the YouTube channel. Okay, so we are going to let that dry, and while it's drying, I am going to move on to the body of the snail. Okay, so we're going back in with our sienna gold 0240, and we're just going to put a light layer of this over the entire snail. Yeah, so that's a really cute channel that I like watching on Threads. Another channel that I like on Threads is called, I don't remember, I think her name is Whiskers something. I'll put it up on the screen. But the thing is, she is fostering the most adorable cat. His name is Baby Corn, and he's just tiny, and he's already quite a few months old, but he's still tiny. And she explains on her channel he's got some sort of condition. No one really knows what it is, but it's stopping him from growing. He's otherwise healthy, this little cat. He's a little bit wobbly on his feet, and he's not really growing, but he is just adorable. The most adorable cat. Oh, I would just grab him up. Anyway, and she took him, the lady who fosters this little cat. I'm just darkening it a bit up here in the shadow areas with the same color, but we're also going to use some of the other Inktense colors. Anyway, she took Baby Corn, that's his name, Baby Corn. She took him to Italy. She went to Italy to visit family or for some sort of family get-together. And she took him with. Oh, and the video was all the preparations for taking him to Italy. Okay, Baked Earth 1800. So he needed a pet passport. That's so cute. He needed a pet passport. I would never take Toby on an aeroplane. He doesn't even like the car. He gets very stressed. So I don't even take him in the car. So I definitely wouldn't, take him on an airplane. But Baby Corn loved being on the plane. She said the lady who has him, she said she's taken him on planes before. So he's on shorter rides, and so he kind of knows the whole procedure. And yeah, so he has a passport, and he has this cute little carry case with all of his things inside, and he got, his food in there, and he was really good on the plane, and he loved Italy. I would also love Italy. I've been to Italy a few years ago. It's been a while. I'm trying to think, when was I there? It was just after I finished high school. I went to Italy. I went to Rome. So it's been quite a number of years since I've been. I want to go back. Okay, so we're using this color just to go around these colors. These circle things. What happened to my language? Anyway, so yeah, I went to Rome, and I went to Naples, And I visited the archaeological site at Pompeii, which is near Naples. And I went to Florence and saw Michelangelo's statue. It's very impressive. And I went to Venice. Back then, Venice wasn't nearly as underwater as it is now. It's sinking. And from what I understand, they don't really like... there's a quota now on tourists coming. Because it's being damaged. St. Mark's Square. So they've got a quota now of how many people can come visit. Okay, so red oxide. Again, just in the deepest shadows. Yeah, so when I went, St. Mark's Square was still in relatively good condition. Where else did I go when I was there? Yeah, it was really nice. It was an organized tour. What was the name of the tour company? Expedia? I think it was called Expedia. I wonder if they still have Expedia. Have you ever taken a guided tour, an Expedia tour? Let me know in the comments. Did you like it? I liked it. It was good. They had good guides. They were strict with the timetable. Like, you had to be back on the bus when they said. And you couldn't just they gave you time to wander around, but you had to come back on time or they would leave you behind. They were very strict. Okay, for these bubble areas, I'm just going to leave it with one layer of Inktense and then we're going to shade with pencil. Another channel that I like following on Threads. Oh, I can't remember her name. This is my problem. I can't remember the names of the channels, but I remember some of the topics in the channels. So we're going back in with our water brush to activate. Okay, remember, dab off if you've got too much water. And we're going again, light to dark. Okay. So this channel, this lady is documenting a fight that she's having with her neighbor. So it's called, the whole topic is called Blueberry Gate. And the reason it's called Blueberry Gate is because the neighbor has blueberry trees and she accused the children of the lady who has this channel. She has hold on, my neighbors are awake and crashing around. So she accused the children of this lady of stealing her blueberries. She's an elderly lady who lives by herself. Anyway, and then she called the police to, come and investigate the blueberry theft. And while the police were there, she lives in an area with wild deer. So while the police were there, the deer came wandering up and ate the blueberries from the tree. Yeah, saved by the deer. Okay. Anyway, so it's a whole long saga with this neighbor, and she's documenting all the things. So the neighbor is suing her for something else. So something to do with an easement in their driveway. The neighbor says they're taking too much of the easement, something like that. I'm not really sure exactly about she describes it on her channel, all of the issues with the easement and all sorts of other things. It turns out that they've gone to court before and got a restraining order. Anyway, this is just fascinating. I'm following along with the case. She's giving, the details. Oh, the neighbor from hell. I must say, I like my neighbors. We get along pretty well. Okay, so yeah, there we have the, let's just see if, how the page on the other side has fared. Oh, absolutely perfect. No bleed through at all. I love Inktense. Okay. Do we want to continue? I think we're going to continue with the Inktense. We have to let all of this dry. You cannot put pencil on top of wet Inktense or wet medium at all. Otherwise, first of all, the paper is fragile and you could tear it, but also the pencil just does not lay down. So you have to wait for it to dry completely. I think what we're going to do is since we have our Inktense out, we're also going to do the brick path. I think I want one more Inktense color that is slightly darker. Hold on one second. Okay, so I've added two more colors, Willow and Dark Umber, and we're going to use all of these shades on the brick path. Now, we're going to shade them as well. So our sun is coming from the top, so the tops of the bricks will be lighter and the bottom part will be darker, and of course we'll have shading underneath the snail itself. Okay, so let's start with we're not going to use the, are we? Yeah, we are. Okay, so let's start with our sienna gold. Okay, and we're gonna put this just lightly on the top here. And we're going to put it a little bit there. And a little bit there. Okay, we're not the whole brick. Okay. Okay, and there. This side is going to be darker because the snail is casting a shadow there, and so the sun is also going to hit here on the bottom. And there. I'm thinking of doing a video about light source and how to determine where to put your highlights and your shadows. Let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in seeing. Okay, next we're going to put Willow. Okay, so here on the bottom, you can shade a little bit into the sienna gold as well. Okay, we're also going to shade with pencil, so very, very lightly. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing a tutorial on light source, highlights and shadows. I will add it to my list. Okay, so that's there. And I think let's just go back in with the sienna gold. Because the light is coming from this direction, it will hit here. So here the top is darker because the snail is casting a shadow onto. Okay, and here it will be lighter. And there it will be darker. Okay. But not as light as the sienna gold because the snail is there. Okay, and now we're going to go in with the burnt umber, 1903. And this is our darkest shadow color. Just a little bit here in the parts that, the stones that are actually in the sunlight. tiny bit here. We can put a bit more because the snail's casting a shadow. So we're just putting a bit more there. Let me just, okay. You can actually put it under the snail itself. Okay. Here we are in the shadow cast by the snail, so darker. Okay, yeah. Now, as for the bits in between, are going to be left like a grayish color. You can even use some of the color from the others when you start to blend. Let me just find my water brush and we're going to activate. Again, I've got a cloth to dab, very important. Okay, I also want to, yeah. Okay, so again, light to dark. Oh, that bit needs a bit more, just wait. Yeah, cast shadow here too. Okay. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just take some of this color into the in-between sections, very lightly. Okay. I dab in between each one, so as not to get color where I don't want it. Oh, here too, I need a little bit of the burnt umber. Remember, it will also be shaded with pencil, so. We're going to get like a little bit of a watercolor texture, which I like. Okay, I'm just not chatting because I'm concentrating. Yeah, when it comes to water medium, I like to go really slowly. And Inktense is permanent when it dries. So, which is not, it's both a blessing and a curse. On the one hand, it's good because you can always go over it with other colors once it's dry. But the curse part is that if you make a mistake, you can't really fix it. So that's why I like to go slowly. Because it's permanent. Because it's not watercolor, it's ink. I think it's India ink in pencil form. Okay. I'll also do a video on the channel, I think, showing how to use Inktense, all the different ways you can use it. Take some of that, put it there. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's just... Okay, let's zoom out and see what we have. Right, so this is what our snail is looking like right now. I want to let it dry completely before I do anything else with it. And I actually like to let it dry for about, I don't know, 24 hours is what I usually do, but it can be less. It can actually be like an hour to be completely dry, but I like to let it settle. And I also like it to be underneath some books to make sure it lays flat afterwards before I start putting in the pencil. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it for now. And in our next Saturday snippet, I'm going to shade the rest of the snail. And I think we might even get a start on our bee. So thank you so much for joining me for today's Saturday Snippets. I hope that you found it useful in using Inktense, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.